My friends, across this country, in big cities and small towns, in quiet neighborhoods and busy streets, people are getting ready, ready for something new, ready for something better, ready for the next chapter of their lives. A mother is planting tomatoes in her backyard, hoping this season's harvest will be the best one yet. A father is packing boxes, moving his family so his daughter can walk into a better school next fall. A young graduate is filling out job applications, stepping into the real world with equal parts excitement and uncertainty. Some are getting ready for marriage, some are preparing for retirement, some are starting new careers, and others are simply trying to teach their dog not to dig through the trash. These may seem like small stories, but together they tell the story of people who believe tomorrow can be better than today. Readiness is a quiet kind of courage. It doesn't always look dramatic or make headlines, but it lives in the everyday choices people make across this country. It lives in alarm clocks set before sunrise, in lunchboxes packed before school, in applications filled out late at night after the kids are asleep. It lives in the determination to say, tomorrow, I'll be better prepared than I was today. You see it in the young graduate sitting at a kitchen table, surrounded by notes and resumes, hoping for that first opportunity. You see it in the parent who works a double shift, not because it's easy, but because it means their child will have a better chance. You see it in the small business owner who opens the doors each morning with the belief that hard work and honesty still matter. Getting ready is not just about big milestones. It's about the small, daily steps that build towards something greater. It's about planting seeds, sometimes literally in the soil, and sometimes in the hearts and minds of our children. It's about trusting that the effort we put in today will grow into something meaningful tomorrow. Think about the family preparing to move so their daughter can attend a better school. That decision may come with sacrifices, longer commutes, tighter budgets, unfamiliar surroundings, but they're doing it because they believe in opportunity. They believe that a good education can open doors that once seemed closed. That's readiness. That's hope in action. Or consider the worker who decides, after years in the same job, to learn a new skill. Maybe they sign up for evening classes, maybe they start an apprenticeship, maybe they simply pick up a book and begin to study. They're not waiting for change to happen to them. They're preparing to shape it themselves. Readiness is also about resilience, because the truth is, the road ahead is rarely smooth. Plans change, challenges appear, life throws curveballs when we least expect them, but readiness gives us the strength to adapt. It reminds us that even when the path shifts, we can keep moving forward. Across America, people are renovating homes, starting businesses, getting married, welcoming new babies, or preparing for retirement. Some are stepping into the workforce for the first time. Others are stepping out, ready to reinvent themselves in a new chapter of life. Different stories, different stages, but the same spirit, the belief that the future is worth preparing for. This spirit has always defined us. It built our towns, our schools, our industries, and our communities. It's the reason generations before us worked long hours, saved what they could, and invested in their children's dreams. They believed that if they got ready, if they worked hard, if they stayed determined, something better was possible. And that belief still lives on today. It lives in every parent who tucks their child into bed and promises them a brighter tomorrow. It lives in every student who studies late into the night. It lives in every worker who shows up even when the job is tough and the hours are long. Readiness is not just preparation. It is progress. It is the engine that drives us forward, one decision at a time, one step at a time. It is the quiet promise we make to ourselves and to each other that we will not stand still, that we will keep striving for something better. Because when people are ready, when families are ready, when communities are ready, the future doesn't just happen, we build it. And together, we will keep getting ready for a better tomorrow. And as we talk about getting ready, we have to talk about what people are getting ready for. They're not just preparing for the next day or the next paycheck. They're preparing for a better life. They're preparing for opportunity. They're preparing for the promise that if they work hard, play by the rules, and do their part, that promise will meet them halfway. That is the heart of our story. Hard work and opportunity have always gone hand in hand in this country. It's what brought families across oceans and deserts, through struggle and uncertainty, all in search of a chance, not a guarantee, not a handout, just a fair shot. Think about the student who studies under a dim light late into the night because their family can't afford expensive tutoring. They're not asking for shortcuts. They're asking for a chance to prove themselves. Think about the factory worker who shows up every day, on time, doing a job that keeps our economy moving. They're not asking for special treatment. They're asking for fair wages and dignity in their work. Hard work should mean something. It should open doors. It should lead to opportunity. But too often, people feel like they're running as fast as they can just to stay in the same place. They're doing everything right, but the rewards seem out of reach. A young couple works full-time jobs, yet they still wonder if they'll ever be able to afford a home. A parent works overtime but worries about the cost of healthcare or college tuition. A small business owner pours their heart into their shop, only to find that the system seems to favor those who are already at the top. That's not the promise we were built on. The promise was simple and powerful. If you put in the effort, you should be able to build a good life. Not a perfect life, not a life without challenges, but a life with stability, with dignity, and with the chance to move forward. Opportunity isn't something that should be reserved for a few. It should be something we build into the foundation of our society. It starts with good schools that prepare our children for the future. It continues with jobs that pay fairly and respect the people who do them. It grows with affordable health care, strong communities, and a fair economy where success is possible for anyone willing to work for it. Because when people know their effort matters, they invest more of themselves. They start businesses, they invent new ideas, they teach, build, create, and care for one another. And that energy lifts all of us. You can feel it in a small shop opening its doors for the first time. You can see it in a classroom where students are discovering their potential. You can hear it in the laughter of a family that just moved into their first home. Those are the sounds of opportunity in motion. Hard work is not just about earning a paycheck. It's about earning pride, earning respect, and earning the chance to dream bigger dreams. And opportunity is what turns those dreams into reality. Our responsibility is to make sure that connection is never broken, that hard work continues to lead somewhere, that effort is rewarded, and that the path forward remains open. Because when hard work meets real opportunity, people don't just survive. They rise, they thrive, and they build a future that is stronger than the past. But even when people are ready, even when they work hard and play by the rules, too many still feel like the system isn't working for them. They feel like their voices are drowned out by louder, more powerful interests. They feel like the rules are written by people who don't know their struggles, don't see their sacrifices, and don't live their daily realities. And that is why everyday Americans need a champion. They need someone who wakes up every morning thinking about the families trying to stretch a paycheck, the students carrying heavy debt, the workers wondering if their jobs will still exist next year. They need someone who understands that behind every statistic is a real person, a real family, a real story. Because when a single mother works 2 jobs just to keep the lights on, that's not just an economic issue. That's a human one. When a young graduate has the skills and the drive but can't find a fair opportunity, that's not just a number in a report. That's a dream waiting for a chance. Championing everyday people means standing up for those who don't have lobbyists or big campaign checks. It means listening to the voices that are often ignored. The nurse working the night shift, the farmer facing uncertain seasons, the teacher buying supplies with their own money, the small business owner trying to compete against massive corporations. It means making decisions not based on who has the most influence, but on who needs the most support. It means looking at every policy, every law, every budget, and asking one simple question: does this help hardworking families move forward? Because that's who built this country. Not just the wealthy or the powerful, but the ordinary apple who showed up every day and did extraordinary things. The people who built our roads, taught our children, protected our communities, and kept our economy alive through good times and bad. Championing everyday Americans also means restoring a sense of fairness. It means making sure that the rules apply to everyone, not just those at the bottom. It means ensuring that success is based on effort and talent, not just connections or luck. It means fighting for equal pay for equal work. It means making sure that healthcare is accessible, that education is affordable, and that retirement is secure. It means protecting the dignity of work, so no one who puts in a full day's effort has to go home wondering how they'll pay the bills. And it means standing up to those who say that nothing can change, because history tells us otherwise. Change has always come when ordinary people had someone in their corner, someone who believed in them, someone who spoke for them, someone who fought alongside them. A champion doesn't just talk about people. A A champion stands with them, walks with them, listens to them, and most importantly, delivers for them. Because when people feel heard, they become stronger. When they feel supported, they take bigger steps. When they feel that someone is fighting for them, they start to believe in the future again. And that belief is powerful. It's what inspires a worker to learn a new skill. It's what pushes a student to stay in school. It's what gives a struggling family the courage to keep going. Everyday Americans don't need empty promises. They need real action. They need someone who sees their struggles, respects their work, and is ready to fight for their future. They need a champion who will never forget who they're fighting for. And when we talk about the strength of this nation, we're really talking about the strength of our families. Because long before policies are written or speeches are given, the true foundation of this country is built around kitchen tables, in living rooms, in backyards, and in classrooms. It's built in the quiet moments when parents help with homework, when neighbors look out for one another, and when communities come together to support those in need. Strong families are not defined by perfection. They're defined by resilience, by love, and by the determination to keep going, even when times are tough. They are the families saving every extra dollar so their child can go to college. They are the families caring for aging parents while raising children of their own. They are the families starting new chapters, new jobs, new homes, new schools, with hope in their hearts and determination in their steps. When families are strong, children grow up believing in themselves. They walk into classrooms ready to learn, not weighed down by fear or uncertainty. They dare to dream bigger dreams because they know someone believes in them. And when those children grow up, they become the workers, teachers, nurses, engineers, and leaders who carry this country forward. But families cannot do it alone. They need a society that supports their efforts. They need schools that prepare their children for the future. They need safe neighborhoods where kids can play and grow. They need jobs that pay fairly and treat workers with dignity. They need health care they can rely on and a retirement they can look forward to. When families have those basic foundations, they don't just survive, they thrive. They start businesses, volunteer in their communities, invent new ideas, and build stronger neighborhoods. And that energy spreads outward, touching every corner of our nation. You can see it in the parents cheering at a school play. You can hear it in the laughter at a family dinner. You can feel it in the pride of someone who just bought their first home or started their first job. Those are not small moments. They are the building blocks of a strong America. Because a nation is not measured only by its economy or its military strength. It is measured by how its people live, by whether parents can provide for their children, by whether young people believe their dreams are possible, by whether seniors can retire with dignity after a lifetime of hard work. And when we invest in families, we invest in the future. Every good school we build, every job we create, every community we strengthen is a promise to the next generation. It's a promise that their hard work will matter, that their dreams will have a chance, that their future will be brighter than our past. This is not about one family or one community. It's about all of us, because the strength of one family strengthens the whole nation. When one child succeeds, we all move forward. When one community rises, the entire country grows stronger. That's the kind of America we should be building together. An America where families feel secure, where children feel hopeful, and where the future feels within reach for everyone. Because when families are strong, expand Key Point 5 into a 750. And now, after all the preparation, all the hard work, all the hope and determination we've talked about, it comes down to one simple truth. None of this happens alone. Progress has never been the work of one person, one family, or one community. It has always been the result of people coming together, believing in something bigger than themselves, and deciding to move forward side by side. Every generation has faced its own moment of choice, a moment when people had to decide whether they would stand still or step forward, whether they would accept the world as it is or work to build the world as it should be. And time and again, Americans have chosen to step forward. They built schools where there were none. They opened businesses on streets that were once empty. They fought for rights that were once denied. They lifted each other up through hard times, and they celebrated together in moments of triumph. They didn't wait for change to come. They became the change. That is the journey we are on today. Not a journey of one person, but a journey of millions. A journey of families preparing for new beginnings, workers striving for better opportunities, students chasing their dreams, and communities determined to grow stronger. The road ahead won't always be easy. There will be disagreements. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when the future feels uncertain. But the strength of this nation has never come from avoiding challenges. It has come from facing them together. Because when people join hands across neighborhoods, across backgrounds, across differences, something powerful happens. We stop seeing each other as strangers, and we start seeing each other as partners. We stop asking what divides us, and we start building what unites us. That's how real change happens. Not through speeches alone, but through action, through conversations at kitchen tables, through votes cast in local elections, through volunteers helping in their communities, through neighbors looking out for one another. When people decide to join the journey, they become part of something larger than themselves. They become part of a movement that carries hope from one generation to the next. They become part of the story of a nation that is always striving, always improving, always reaching higher. And that journey is open to everyone. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you do, or what your story has been so far. What matters is where you're going and whether you're willing to take that next step. Maybe your step is going back to school. Maybe it's starting a new job. Maybe it's helping a neighbor, speaking up for someone in need, or simply believing that your voice matters. Every step counts. Every voice matters. Every effort adds to the strength of this country, because this is your time, your chance to shape the future, your opportunity to be part of something meaningful and lasting. So as we prepare for all the things ahead, new jobs, new schools, new homes, new dreams, I ask you to do one more thing. Join this journey. Walk forward with hope. Stand together with your neighbors. Believe in the power of your own voice. Because when we move forward together, there is nothing we cannot achieve.